Yo, so the opinions and views expressed in this podcast are that of our own and the Future Bachelor podcast only, and not affiliated with any outside party or entity or anything like that. This fun podcast, though, may include some adult language.
Future Bachelor Podcast.
Yeah! Welcome to Future Bachelor. My name is Sai.
I'm Veronica.
And this is episode 110.
Yeah, look at us freaking go, dog.
Man, we're doing this. I'm really excited to be here. It's good to be back, just me and you. I've enjoyed our guests the last couple weeks, don't get me wrong, but
yeah, our guests have been great, but it is sometimes you got to get back to basics.
Yeah, and get a little me and V time, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I had to start off with that vibe. That's actually a classic, that's Michael McDonald singing with the Doobie Brothers.
The Doobie Brothers.
An iconic voice.
Do we have other Doobie Brothers songs on our Future Bachelor podcast playlist?
We might have the Michael McDonald where he's like, I keep forgetting I'm in love anymore. That's my Michael McDonald impression, by the way.
Wow, that was something.
Thank you, I appreciate it. So how's it going, V? What's been going on in your life?
I won trivia, not me personally, my team and I won trivia again, second week in a row. Okay. I will have to say, once, you're going to be like, Veronica, can you ever guys actually win? Yes, we can. This was a real win, for real, but it was a much smaller group this past week. A lot of people had virtual, bachelorette parties and things happening. So it was just, there was only a few teams, but I mean, we still won, and we blew the other teams out of the water. So a win is a win, okay?
Word. That's what's up. You got that W. I'm going to give you this right here.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, what else been going on?
So my friends and I, there's a new Jonas Brothers concert video out.
Okay.
And so what they did to kind of promote it, because they had to cancel their Vegas shows and everything. And so what they did to promote it is that if you texted their text service with your Zoom link, if you were having a Zoom watch party for their new concert video, they were jumping into random Zooms.
Oh, that's sick.
So of course we tried that. They did not jump into our Zoom, which was
insane.
I know, if they did, my ass would have been if it was Nick or something, I would have been so Nick.
Yo, so Nick.
October 2016.
He won't remember, dude. Get over it.
You were in Claremont Lounge.
He won't remember you, V. I think he's been through a lot since then, so.
Yeah, he got married. I get it. Okay.
He got married. Oh, but nothing big. But that's what's up. That's a cool idea. I like that for, what's going on right now. And you do anything else?
Yeah, and then I also another watch. My friend and I had both been saving the Good Place finale to watch just because we both didn't want it to end, so we just drank some wine and watched it together. So
yeah, my sister was watching The Good Place when I was back there, I think over Christmas break.
It's such a good show.
It just it was very confusing. I didn't get it. I got the concept of I guess there's a heaven and hell or a fake, I don't know what it is, but it was just confusing as shit. And,
I love it.
And they kept repeating the same show. I was like, yo, didn't we just see this whole episode? They're like, no, this is a different episode. They're just going back into. I'm like, what? So they just repeat the same day?
You were probably, I think I know what season you're on. And yeah, that season, if you're just hopping in and you're seeing it, that those few episodes that you were seeing were probably you're like, what? But yeah, they did a few episodes where they for when they were rebooting everything, they it's a whole thing. Okay. You would have to have watched it from the beginning to get it.
Sounds interesting. But this past week I did a couple things. I did my friend's he put out this challenge for a song that he has called Two Stone. And I was like, dude, he asked me personally to do the challenge, which it pretty much just do something to the song's instrumental.
And is this with Llama Beats? Is that who
Llama
it is?
Beats George. Yeah, we've had his the Water song for our
that popped up on my shuffle the other day, and I was like, shit, this shit goes hard still.
Hell yeah, I've been drinking tons of water. But so yeah, he asked me to do it, and I was like, how do I do this without promoting marijuana use and all this stuff. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
you're
saying?
like, because it's not legal here in Georgia.
Right. I mean, he's in California, so that shit's like, he promotes it all day. But for me,
it
it's
doesn't
just
matter.
like, he's one of my best friends musically and stuff. He's just like someone I look up to. So he asked me personally to do this challenge, and I'm like, what am I going to do? And then I like was procrastinating, and I was almost like not going to do it just because I just couldn't think of something. And then I was like, what if I just like walk to the store and just like write this rap about like, you know, munchies or something like that, just like of all these different snacks and stuff. And it ended up working out. So I did that this weekend, and
I saw that.
Got a lot of good feedback. People like seeing your boy rap, I guess. And
well, it's always fun, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like rapping or being able to freestyle, like, I remember I've always, like, I think freestyle rap is, like, so incredibly, like, that's like being a wordsmith, and like I think that's cool. So like I feel like people, that's always like a talent that like people wish they had, you know? So I feel like
it's
cool
kind
to
of a
see
weird thing that I like
people do
sometimes
that.
may take for granted, because now that I do more, like, I've always rapped as growing up, but now I'm going in more singing route. So it's like, you know, I take it for granted sometimes that I have the ability to. So like it was just cool to see like the feedback from people, like being
Air
like,
flip.
yeah,
I'm a rapper.
Well, then I started like
by trade.
I started like I'm trying to imagine like a couple people I knew and like them trying to rap a verse like I just did, like, you know what I'm saying, and like how it would sound or come off. So it's like, you know, as long as I don't look corny or anything like that, that's like pretty much. I mean, it was supposed to be a little cheesy, but so I did that. That was pretty cool. And then just yesterday, actually, I bought. They just dropped this new Mavic Air 2 drone, and me and Paul have been like coming up with a whole bunch of different ideas. I got this new song I'm about to like drop that I'm gonna make a dope ass video for, but I bought this like really expensive drone that should be coming here in the next like week or two. So we're gonna have some sick ass shots coming, video wise, and then yeah. So that's pretty much what I was doing. We did that, and then. What else did I do? Not too much, I guess. Like, you know, just kind of like getting through the week again, you know?
Yeah, I know. I was like talking to some friends about this. It feels like the weeks almost go slow, but the days go fast. I feel like for me, even today, just like kind of like zoomed by. Like I kind of was like, shit, oh my God, it's already this time. But the weeks just feel weird.
Blending.
But yeah. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention. Today's Denim Day.
Okay.
Yeah. It's always
I remember
like
you talking about it last year.
Yeah, I talked about it last year. It's always, it was an episode that that John was on, Chef John Hines. And so I always, it always happens to be like, I think the last Wednesday, days, in April. And April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month anyways. But Denim Day, I'm wearing my denim. You'll see it if you look at our Instagram. But, you know, it's for supporting victims of sexual assault, rape, and the whole idea of ending rape culture around, you know, well, she wore this or he wore whatever, so she deserved it. But yeah.
Well, thank you for that. Always reminding people, you know, of these days. And there was something I did remember actually that I want to mention. I got proactive yesterday, and I finally made like my website. And they all came
for a
together
second, when you said I got proactive and then like kind of paused, I thought you meant like
for acne.
The acne. I was like, hey man, that's great. I'm happy you're taking care of your skin. I'm like, I've used Proactive too.
And if you use code FUTUREBACH, you get 15% off your first month.
Swipe up.
No, we're just joking. That's not a real ad. I got Proactive yesterday and made a website for myself. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. It looks pretty clean. I mean, like, you definitely know how to make stuff look good. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, the idea behind it was like, you know.
I mean, yeah, my little face was on it.
Yeah, you got to pick on there. And, you know, like, ideally, I've always had, like, domains and stuff. And having a website, I think, is important as much as, like, people don't really go to it. But what's really popular right now, we use it for Future Bachelor, is, like, these, like, sites that allow you to have like links. So it's like a link that has like a bunch of links that you can link off to.
It's a link farm.
Yeah, link farm type thing. So I wanted something like that, but the ones that are like free and that you have to pay for and all this stuff. And I was like, you know, none of them like are cool looking. So I was like, why don't I just go and make a little site that has like graphics that I can make, and it pretty much houses everything I do, like music, videos, the podcast, anything, TV, like, you know, or just a hub for you to get at me if you need to. So, and I thought it was pretty cool. I just called it shashyorside.xyz.
I like that. I thought it was cute. Very
Thanks.
you. I mean, like, I feel like online portfolios are so important these days with like how businesses and people do their thing. Like, I feel like, you know, that's why employers look at Instagrams, or they look at different, like, your different presences online, because like that's kind of like your portfolio depending on what you do. So I feel like that was a good thing for you to do. I need to spruce up mine. I have like a really old WordPress that I want to like make into a real thing.
Yeah, I just used Wix, and this is not another ad either. So if you use Future Batch as on discount checkout, but but yeah. So I just ended up, the lucky part about it is like anyone can make a website using something like Wix, but But like the good part about me is that I'm good at graphics. So it's like if you're good at graphics,
you have all the stuff that you could upload, and like
you just got the eye to make like things look good and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty legit. And now I feel like I have a place where like I can send someone to, and they can kind of like just view me, like, you know, from all different angles there and stuff. So
yeah, of course.
So yeah, and it's just the next thing that I want to do is like I want to like make merch for Future Bachelor, for all my songs, for all that stuff. So
yeah, I think I like have some cute. We should talk more offline about merch. I think we can have some really cute stuff.
But yeah, so all that stuff will come, and I think it'll be cool for people to be able to buy some clothes from us.
Indeedy. Yes, indeedy.
You know, now that we gone through all our ads and stuff, we might as well take a plane that we haven't taken in a while to Quick Hits.
Yes. I wanted
what do we
to
got for some quick hits?
I wanted to start Quick Hits with a this day in history.
Okay.
So this day in 2008, there is a now iconic photo where it is Pete Wentz. Yes, bring us back. Bring us back. Where Pete Wentz is walking down the street, and in the background you can see Bruno Mars looking at him like, oh my God, that's Pete Wentz. And like this like photo has been used for like memes and things and whatever, but it's just on this day. So when you guys listen to this, it'll be like a day or two after that photo.
Wow,
that photo was a
how
thing.
the tables have turned.
I know. I think that's like the funniest part.
Well,
is
actually,
that
Pete
like,
Wentz is still the man. It's just like,
I mean, he's just like, yeah, they're not doing as much anymore, and Bruno Mars is like kind of still popping.
yeah,
so.
they should make like a super group with like Pete Wentz and Travis Barker and like another famous like band.
Those like pop punk kind of people.
Yeah, just like the ones the really standoutish ones, but like, you know, a singer and another guitarist or something like that. But yeah, no, that'd be cool. So what else we got in celebrity news?
So these virtual proms have been a big thing. I think like even like 17 magazine is doing prom challenges and stuff, which makes
we
sense.
talked about one last week.
Huh?
We talked about one last week with
yes, we did, with John Krasinski, that he hosted on YouTube live stream. So I feel like now it's just like each different platform is getting into it. So TikTok, Dylan Francis and Diplo got together and DJ'd a virtual prom on TikTok. And so like they had a bunch of people like who hopped in and hopped out, like David Dobrik and Charlie XCX. And
David Dobrik, that's the homie.
Yeah, you love David Dobrik. And just all of them. So like they did their own version of a virtual prom. They awarded themselves prom king and queen. I've always loved Dylan Francis. To me, is like a funny ass dude, so I always love him. So I just thought their energy together was really fun.
Yeah, he's pretty funny, like comedic actor, and like the skits I've seen him in.
Yeah, so it was just, I think it was interesting because, like, while I think John Krasinski's was more, like, stereotypical prom vibes, like, they did, like, you know, they're DJs, like, they're MCs, like, they know how to, like, that's, like, what they do. So, like, they did a lot of fun.
A whole different vibe.
Mixing and stuff. So it was cool. It was cool. I saw some clips and stuff of it. So it was very, very them. They're kind of goofballs.
Well, let's take it in another direction, in One Direction news.
Oof. So.
Oof.
Wow. Look at you. You love a good, like, themed segue. You really, like,
that one just came to me last second, but I knew you were going to say something about it.
I mean, so Zayn and Gigi, they never have like really like confirmed how they're back together. We've talked about it on this podcast, and they've been quarantining together, and obviously they've been like quarantining together because Gigi, right after her 25th birthday the other day, announced, well, she didn't announce, other people have announced that she is supposedly pregnant with a baby girl.
Wow.
So if it's a girl, first of all, like, I don't know, like, if they for sure know the sex of this baby yet. Like, nobody, like, they haven't legit come out announcing this yet. So, which I always find that interesting. Like, you would think either if you're going to be, like...
It's because people can't keep their mouth shut.
Yeah. I mean, like, so who's telling... whatever, like who knows things. People are guessing that she might have like combined her birthday with like a gender reveal party or something, which we all know my feelings on gender reveal parties. I think they're stupid. But but that is me, and I have no children, so what am I to say? But yeah, so this is like the hot news. That is some of the hot news. We're going to get into some even hotter news.
Yeah, that's out of this world. But you know what else is out of this world, V?
Oh, God.
Aliens. Aliens are out of this world. And, you know, this is something I've been kind of saying, like, in conversations with my people about, like, this whole virus. Because I always...
people?
My quarantine
Your people.
What do they call them? The quarantines?
Yeah, quarantine. Your yeah.
So I said, like, the only thing that really would bring the world together is, like, a global pandemic or, like, aliens attacking the world. You know what I'm saying?
And both.
So, yeah, or both. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, how does this make you feel?
So, I
feel like the general consensus is that, like, it's just, like, so, like, that would be another thing that would come out right now. People, like, don't really care about aliens.
Yeah, that's like literally, like, I'm like reading like one of the articles on it in The Cut by New York Magazine. It said, here are some videos of UFOs if you care. Like, literally, like.
Yeah. So
it's just like, it was like the FBI or the Pentagon released them, and we all, like, I think, who was it? Tom DeLonge had actually been, like, saying a lot of stuff. Like, he's, like, really taken up this mantle, and, like, he's, like, you know, known from music.
Yeah, he's been talking about it for a while. I've heard him, like, videos, and I think he's been on the Joe Rogan podcast talking about it and stuff like that. Speaking of, like, Travis Barker before, now we're talking about Tom DeLonge from Blink-182, but...
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I mean, these were, like, leaked videos. Like, it's always funny, too, because, like, it's like, all right, they're like, these are UFOs. I've seen crazier things than a little dot, like, on a screen, like, in black and white. Yeah. Like, it's so crazy.
Like, people have seen, like, other evidence of UFOs and shown it and whatever, so... Also,
I don't understand why they disclose this stuff without any explanation. Or their explanation
the Pentagon
is just like,
here you go.
We don't have an explanation.
Like,
yeah.
What?
Wait, what do you mean,
here we go? What are you
hiding
hiding if you're releasing this?
What does that mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we all scared of if there's, like, things floating around and spinning like crazy?
Yeah, like are we supposed to be scared? Like, what are what is the moves here?
Oh, now shoot, like PG's, like, coming back home. He's screaming me through the window. Do you like the live sign? Take a picture. Take a picture of the live sign. I got the live sign. Shout out to
you brought the live sign? That's cute.
I got the window open. It's got the whole live sign and stuff. So I'm taking a little flick.
Shout out to C Money for the live sign.
Dude, I feel like...
I'm watching Cy
shout out to all my fans out there.
Take a picture from the window of Paul's apartment that Paul is walking up to.
What is this world? Yo, see, if me and Paul can stage these things, the government can stage these things. So, anyways, let's get out of that. Like, there'll probably be more developments
yikes,
soon.
Yeah,
so.
Let's bring ourselves out.
Yeah, what else we got?
So today, literally today, so if you're listening, once again, you're going to be listening to this the next day after, but it's still brand new. But Megan Thee Stallion dropped a remix to her song Savage that is featuring Queen Bee, Beyonce.
Wow, that is a cut right there.
Yeah, it's honestly, Beyonce dropped some bars. It's great. It's a real, I've been listening to it. And the proceeds of the song are going to be going to Beyonce's Be Good fund that is helping with a lot of different efforts to support, first responders and all those different folks. So
that's huge for Megan Thee Stallion. Smart idea for Beyonce.
Exactly, yeah.
That's crazy. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. One of the songs I've been like bumping like crazy lately is "Ape Shit," and like the music video.
I love that.
Me and Paul watch that
video.
shit like so much, like it's like not even funny. But the
So
part where she
good.
starts rapping fast, like my friend Kyle does this funny impression where it's like. She's like, when she barely moves her face and she's like rapping, she's like, but anyways, so what do we got?
That song is great though.
Yeah. What do we got for this Chippendale stuff right here? You got on the list.
So
you would put this on the list
Chippendales
for our lady listeners, or if you like men too, whoever you are.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
So Chippendales, which I've never seen a true like Chippendales show. Always have wanted to. I think it'd be a lot of fun. But they are offering virtual parties for, you can get like a couple of people on a Zoom or whatever, and it'd be like 30 minutes. And they do some moves, they do some dances, like they're doing it on all different like streaming platforms. I'm not exactly sure how they're getting payment. I'm sure it's like PayPal or like Venmo or something.
Sounds like OnlyFans.
I mean, it could be that too, but. My friend who sent this to me, she is a podiatrist. And so she's like, oh, I've got the hookup because they're giving free parties to people who work in healthcare. So, if you're a nurse or a doctor and you're into some hot dancing men, this could be a good thing for your day off.
Jeez.
Maybe just think about it. Whatever.
You heard it here
works.
first. You heard it here first. Well, moving along, the like big bombshell and celebrity news this past week that like honestly I wasn't too surprised by because we can talk about it a little bit more was Jay Cutler and Kristin Cavallari have filed for divorce. So to me, I saw this type of stuff come in. It just seemed like Jay Cutler was just not into Kristin Cavallari anymore. And Kristin Cavallari is a catch, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, women want to be Kristin Cavallari, you know what I'm saying? And this guy is probably just, and I don't know if it's like, I don't know if there's like an actual like cheating happening or anything like that. I heard like a couple rumors of that, but nothing confirmed.
There were rumors. So like I watch her, recent reality show, Very Cavallari. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of rumors that kind of like were a part of this whole falling out with Kristin's recent best friend, Kelly. There's a lot of rumors around that Kelly and Jay had some sort of like affair or something. And we don't know if any of that's super true. And even on the show, cheating. They said that it wasn't true. But like she just didn't trust like so some people are like, oh, maybe this was true. There's just like been a lot of like, I guess a lot of it they've been saying has to do with like, their lifestyle differences and how they have really like never really come to terms with that, like ever since Kristin's business Uncommon James started booming and like, Jay retired from the NFL and has just been like sitting at home, not doing much. So there seems to be a lot of stuff going around with that. And I guess like this has been brewing for a while, which like if you've ever watched Very Cavallari, like this past season, they really played it up for the cameras and really made it seem like they were like in such a better place. They did a lot of like just them
cutesy
vacations.
Stuff. Yeah.
So, but it looks like it's getting kind of like nasty with the divorce between them because like they're fighting they have 3 kids. So that's like always gets dicey because it's like, okay, they're fighting for different custody and things like that. And they're currently still living together. At least their house is
What do they have to fight about though?
Well, I think I've been reading.
Like if you're going to divorce, like wouldn't it be just like, what? Is it a matter of like that? Like she wants the kids to live with her probably.
Yeah. She wants to have sole physical custody of the kids. And I guess like supposedly Kristin says that Jay has been blocking her attempt to purchase a new home for them. So like they're stuck in the same house right now. Because he's not letting her. I think they must have like a joint bank account, which like,
yeah, it's going to get messy. It's going to
gets messy. So
it's going to get drawn out.
people have been like saying like Steven, you know, from Laguna Beach days, he's still single. They're like, oh. And people are also like saying, is she gonna hook up with Brody? Like, who's to say? Like,
oh my God, no, they're so far past those. She's so far past those guys, hopefully now. So
I know, but and then other people. So like, I mean, you must be happy. You're a big Casey fan. She's back out on the market.
Hell yeah.
And then
I'm moving to LA or wherever she moved.
Yeah, she might be moving back out to LA. And then, I mean, people love Jay Cutler. I personally have some strong feelings against him for when he was the quarterback of the Chicago Bears and just how he was then. But there's plenty of people who have been making jokes about him being the next Bachelor because they're like, yeah, let's have him as the next Bachelor.
Dude,
blah, blah, blah.
It would be way better if, like, Kristin was the next Bachelorette.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be
Screw
some crazy.
Claire Crowley and their awful graphics for her. They are doing her dirty week after week.
Yo, honestly, though, we'll talk about that later. So what made you go yikes this week, V?
Okay, I had like kind of a couple of yikeses. I don't know. I'll be honest, like sometimes like some weeks like finding a yikes moment is harder than others.
You always have two. What are you talking about?
Well, these aren't like real. I don't know. Like, I had to like really like force these yikeses. They were just more of like, kind of moments than a true yikes. What is that noise? I don't know what it's. Sometimes there's like stuff happening outside of my apartment right now, and I'm like, what is going on? But
the world.
Yeah. But anywhoozles. One of them, to start off with, is that Nick Viall on his podcast, you know, he's always trying to stay relevant. He kind of called Madison Pruitt from Pilot Pete's season out on being a liar. You know, he like said all this stuff about how she tries to be the pious little God girl, and then she's been lying about different things that they've been saying in their ongoing beef. Or her and Peter's. So that's just a bit of a yikes moment just because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Maddie's trying too hard to stay in the spotlight and like she's been caught and like doing that before.
I think it's actually interesting because, you know, the TikTok stuff, like, you know, I'll probably get onto TikTok eventually, but I probably won't do those dances and shit. Like the dances are
the dances wouldn't be on brand for you.
And like, it's just weird. Like, you know, it's weird seeing her do it. It's weird seeing like the Lornes do it. It's weird seeing everybody do it. So it's like that's all they got going right now is these TikToks, and it's crazy. But,
I know.
But whatever. They're getting shared and they're going viral and everything. So it's just like one of those
and I
things.
mean, and Nick Viall, you know, he has his podcast and he makes himself relevant still by like.
Oh shit! What's up, Corinne? Oh, shout out to Corinne. She's got the podcast shout out.
Hey.
Listen to the episode tomorrow, Corinne. So yeah, that's how you get people to listen. You shout them out live on the air.
I know. I feel like, you know how they've been having a lot of those memes and stuff right now where it's like people pretending to like walk out and like do their set at like a big EDM show or something.
Yeah.
It's like for, like
and
one
all the
person
crowd with
like,
all the
from
hands
like a
and
window.
Shit. Yeah. That shit's hilarious.
Yeah, that's like you right now. You're like, yeah, guys.
I know, like, hey, what's up? Yeah, you're right. Fuck you. So, you know, why don't we?
Other yikes.
Oh yeah,
moment.
you have another yikes moment. That's right.
This one, because this got brought to my attention, I feel like I had to talk about it. There's this weird new reality show. I feel like reality shows are trying to do too much, like because they're like, we're gonna be the Bachelor of this kind of dating scenario. We're gonna be the whatever. So it's this weird show that's coming out called Labor of Love, and it's hosted by Kristin Davis, who is known from being Charlotte in Sex and the City, and they, you know, people are looking for to fill their Bachelorette void because it's not happening right now. But this Labor of Love show, I don't know if it knows what it's trying to do. It's going to have one woman who is looking for a man to be with her through her journey of either like of having a baby via IVF. Like, I don't know, like they haven't really specified if like this person is going to be her sperm donor, or if he's going to be like just her partner that's going to help raise her child, or what. So it's like they do like parenting challenges and things like that. Ugh. I just feel like it's
nasty.
It's a lot. And I just feel like it's like, okay, this is how we're going to cater towards the like older women audience that's like, hey, like, are you single and you want to have kids? Like, watch this woman do it on national TV and like try to find someone to be like, I don't know. Like, it's all cringy to me. Like, it's like we're just trying too much. Like, I
love dating shows, but I won't be tuning into that one for sure. I don't think so.
I'm not going to be tuning in either. You know.
Well, let's get into our main topic. Mini topic. So today's main topic, you know, is something we might have talked about before, but I kind of wanted to maybe talk about it more in depth. And maybe get behind the psychology.
I'm interested to see why you wanted to bring it up.
There's not really a reason. It's just I think I read an article. That was what it was, and I'm sure you'll have some things to say about it too. But what do you think?
Okay, so let's actually introduce the topic to folks.
Okay. Well, yeah. So the idea was, what's the psychology behind muting on Instagram? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the idea of muting someone's
a full block or verse like
unfollowing,
or even just like an unfollow or whatever.
Yeah, but like why I'm more interested in why the psychology of why different people do it. Some people, like if I ask PG right now, I'm sure he doesn't even know that you can mute people on here.
Yeah, and you can restrict, so you can mute stories, and then you can restrict their profile now. So like if you restrict their profile, like if they try to message you, it'll go into your like, it won't go into your regular folder, or go into like the
spam message folder.
Yeah.
Did you know you can mute people on Instagram?
Did you just say you can mute people on Instagram?
Yeah, see, he was like, you can mute people on Instagram? So yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, there's Paul. But yeah, no, the idea behind muting is essentially, you know, if you don't know what it is, it's a feature on Instagram that, you know, at the top of your story, you have people's, you know, IG stories that are at the top. And, you know, sometimes it's just, it's a weird way that they filter through too, because it's like, you just get kind of like this random first 4 that like whatever Instagram randomly gives you. And if you click on them, you know, the algorithms or whatever will know that like you're interacting with it, so they'll keep showing the same people. So like eventually like you're like seeing people that you don't want to see, so you might mute it. Or like there's deeper things, like, you know, why someone would want to mute somebody on there, because
do they know if you've muted them?
No, people do not know. And that was something I actually researched. I'm like, can people find out if you can like,
just like people don't know if you screenshot stuff on Instagram, because they made that like you know how like if you're on like Snapchat and you screenshot, people know. They made it a thing on Instagram where you would know, and they literally got rid of it within a day because people are like, nah, man, like we need to hide that shit.
Right.
That's crazy, because I know that like Sai and I have had this conversation before about how I'll just like, if I watch stories on Instagram, I'll just click through them all like rapid fire. Even if I don't want to watch someone's, they'll see that I saw it because I'm just like cycling.
Yeah.
That's such a male thing. I feel like women will like, if I don't want to watch somebody, I'm not going to look at it. And then if I really, I'm like, oh, like,
and that's what I was telling to Paul. Like, I was like, yo, if, I'm like, I don't want to click on someone's story, because then they can see that I looked at their story, and then they see that I'm like, he's like, why do you care? Like, I'm like, people can look, like, it's just this crazy.
Because people look back and like they want to see if certain people are watching their stories.
Are you guys both in agreement then that like if you see someone that has watched your story, that like you'll read it, like you take that as them intentionally watching your story and thinking about you, and like
you see it
on their mind for your.
So I know that's like not the truth, because I know someone could be sitting on the toilet just clicking through.
Right.
You still, part of you still is like,
But when you
maybe
see someone,
what was their thought process?
No, but when you see someone look at it time after time, like there's people that won't look at it, like, you know what I'm saying, there's people that will look at it for a while, and then you notice they stop looking at your stories. And that's kind of like the type of stuff that I wanted to get to, is like, you know, those type of psychologies behind.
So I like almost never post to my story, but one of the weird things that I have noticed is if you post on your story and it's like one long video, so you post, so everything goes up at the same time, but it's like 4 sections to your story. Yeah. I always think it's interesting to look and see who watched the first one but didn't make it to the last one, because they were like boring and they just
we all do it. That's a great point, Paul. You're a human, just like us. You social media using motherfucker. Like, listen, you know.
But I never posted that.
See, he's all like, I'm too cool. I don't use social media, but I do look at every single name and make sure that they looked at all four parts of my story.
The 5 times that I posted the longest story in my life, I've like noticed that.
Okay, he's like, and then he's gonna walk away. He's like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he's like, that's my cue.
Drop the mic. Too social media over here. Yo, Paul. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Here, we need a round of applause.
Paul.
That was great.
Yeah, do his drop.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah, no, I mean, those are great points because, like, you know, there is a psychology behind it. Like, that was a conversation me and him had before where it was like, I'm like, no, dude, I don't click on people's stuff because, like, I'm intentional. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want people to just be like, I'm willy-nilly on here. Just like
shitting and scrolling. You don't want them to think that.
Right. You know, because like also I'm not interested. I don't want people to think I'm interested in things that I'm not, like, you know.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, when it comes to the muting though, do you have anyone muted?
I feel like I recently muted somebody who is a friend, who's like an acquaintance friend kind of situation, just because for some reason he was like, the algorithm was pushing his stories to the front of my list. And I think it's just because like we had like interacted over stories like months ago. But some of the stuff he was posting was just like, it was very ignorant, and it was a lot of like super political stuff that was just like super ignorant and just not, it was making me angry. So I was just like, I'm just going to mute him because like, I don't really want to see this. But I feel like I haven't muted at first, like one of my exes, I didn't, cause he didn't really post much. I feel like when it comes to like exes or things like that, like I don't have like a lot of exes that were like super into social media, and like the few that I did, I either just unfollowed them or I blocked them. Like there was one guy like from college who like I unfollowed because I just didn't like seeing his stuff anymore. And then sometimes my friends would like send me his posts. I'm like, yo, like I purposely unfollowed this motherfucker. Like I don't want to see it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's a hard detachment, but like that's one of the reasons why like my ex is on mute. Like I follow her, but like I just can't watch her. I couldn't watch her stuff all now. At this point, it'd just be weird to like start it. Like, but
because then she might be like, oh, why is Sai watching my stories? Like,
yeah, like, you know what I'm saying. I've done a good job of like, you know, not having to see what she's doing like for the last couple of years. You know, so
yeah, exactly. I feel like it's honestly for yourself and also like so that the other person doesn't think it's like a two-way street kind of situation.
Right. I'm looking at some other people I have muted here, and I'll mute someone if like I've messaged, like I'll be honest, I'll mute someone if I've messaged them like once or twice and there's been no interaction, like not even a like of the comment or a response or something like that. I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna mute you because like obviously you don't give a fuck if like I talk to you. So especially, and like, it's not even like someone.
But you still follow them?
I'll still follow them because it's like
interesting.
Yeah, because I like, for the thing is, it's like, it's weird because it's like I do take it personally, but also like at the same time I'm thinking like, it's not personal maybe, so it's like I don't want to like completely like just like
you don't want to cut ties all the way.
I don't want to keep completely like
fatality
because like it's like what if like one day they do like hit me up like on my birthday and they're like, hey, just want to let you know like you know,
and then they're like, why did he unfollow me?
Yeah, they're like, what the fuck, like, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't even like that, but it's more of just because like I don't want to sit here and like I never like to feel like I'm like needy or something like that, you know what I'm saying, like or like thirsty.
Yeah, so, I get that.
So it's like if a person like it, like obviously if I'm like messaging you, you know that I'm interested in like communicating with you, and then at which point you ignore me, I'm like, all right, well I'll take that as a hint, like, you know, mute. And then there's like other people that have just been like, and tell me if this is weird, like if they're like, hey, like I just want to be friends, it's like, all right, cool, mute. Like it's not like.
Well, I feel like that's like a smart move on your part, because then you're not seeing their stories and stuff all the time. So then you don't even have the space to be thirsty, you know, like after they're like, oh, I just want to be friends. And then you're like, okay. And then you keep seeing all their stuff and you're like, you know, like I feel like mentally,
also,
like that's probably the move.
I feel like girls are not used to that either. Like, I don't know, like you tell me, but I don't feel like girls are used to guys like taking a hint or like hearing what they said. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if like a girl is being like, somehow gives me a hint that like they might not be interested in me, I don't hate them. Like, it's just like, all right, boom, like poof, I'm gone. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then most of the time they end up coming back and being like, no, I like, you know, I really did want to be friends or something. Like,
most of the time they come crawling back.
No, they do not most of the time, but I'm saying there's times where that happens. There's times where, you know, we go our separate ways or something like that. But yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm saying they come back is because you leave the door open in a sense. Like, it's not like, hey, like, I don't hate them.
Yeah,
I'm never the type of person to be like,
them.
fuck you never answered my text. Like, it's just like, all right, well, I'm not that like high on the priority list for this person. So I'm like, I'm readjusting on my priorities, like, you know?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of girls tend to complain about, like, you know, like the fuckboys in their life who ghosted them, or, you know, hit them with like some commitment issues or whatever, and then like still are watching their stories. I feel like that's like what so many girls get into their heads about. Like, this is a very big, like, I'm painting with a broad brush, but I mean, this is like stuff I've heard all the time, and like even stuff like that I've felt before where I'm like, well, but he can watch my stories, but like then I also know that like they really could not give two shits about like what I'm posting.
No, that's just like, that's their character. Like, that's what I'm trying to say is like, I'm not that kind of guy that would break up with a girl and then like do the psychological like crap, like where like you're checking her story still afterwards. Like, why the hell does he even care like what I'm doing? Like, you know, maybe you guys are friends and maybe that's cool, but like legit, like I don't want like a girl that's still like, it's almost like leading a person on at some point, you know what I'm saying? And people know the science behind it. They know what they're doing. They're like, I'm gonna check this. Or like, do you ever do the things where like you wait to check someone's story? Do you ever do that?
Or
like, you don't want to look thirsty in a
like
sense?
reply to something or like things like that. Like,
there's
I feel
like different
it's
levels of like punishment you give people in stories. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you like a yield, like a yellow would be like, all right, I'm not gonna look at their story right when they post it. Like, I know it's right there, hot at the top. I'm gonna wait like, you know, an hour or two, maybe later on when I'm on Instagram and it's still there, I'll click on their thing.
Or like, do you like actually like physically go to their profile to like go watch it, just to, like, if you're really playing that game?
I'm not gonna lie, V, I've done it. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
I mean, if I'm bringing it up, I think you can tell that I've done it before too. There's people
listening right now that are like cringing because they know that we all do this stuff. Like, it's just like, and it's interesting too because we all do it differently. Just like Paul was here, like he didn't know like different ways. Like, you know, that's just the way. I'm very, like I said, what was I saying earlier? I'm very intentional with it. You know, I don't want it to be just like on autopilot where, you know, I'm just liking. I legit like will go through times where I just will like people's stuff that I actually like. But like the muting thing is interesting because like I noticed that I have a couple on there, but I think it's a healthy thing for me to do. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like, so I am like kind of like coming to the whole idea of like blocking whatever. I feel like I had an ex who I blocked him and I made him block me because he was like, after like I broke up with him, he was like trying to get me back, trying to do whatever, and like he like unfollowed me and then refollowed me and then liked something and then like try to slide into my DMs. And I knew all that he was doing was to try to like, you know, weasel his way back in, you know, like a month or so after our breakup. And he was like trying to like work his way back into the door. And like, I was not interested. And I knew that he like still had such strong feelings for me. And I kind of was like, yo, like, we got to just block each other. I'm like, I'm not changing my mind. And I'm like, you can't keep seeing my shit because you keep thinking that you're going to like change my mind. And I'm like, I'm not. And so I feel like that's usually when that blocking situation has to happen. Like, as I've said before, I don't have a lot of exes that are like super big on Instagram, so it's not like a lot of them are really like even on there interacting, doing whatever. And so, like, I feel like with other exes, like, I maybe just unfollowed them. And then it's like, okay, because, like, people are like, well, block them, do whatever. I'm like, okay, like, I'm like, no, I mean, I might let them see how I'm doing. They could see how I'm doing, but I don't really give a shit about,
there's different
what
levels.
they're doing.
There's different levels of I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't care, so I'm just going to unfollow them and just really, I don't care. Or it's like, sometimes unfollowing people, like, makes a bigger statement than you actually want. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, oh, wow, like, they had to unfollow them because I'm obviously a big deal to that person. Like, that type of stuff. I think it's interesting. The reason why I think it's a good thing for me to do, because like I said, I'm a big heart eyer. Like, I'll see people's stories and
you love a good heart eye emoji.
They make it easy to just push the heart eye thing right there. They give you those 8 options. So eventually I'll like actually go and like try to message a girl or something like that, and then I like scroll up and I realize I've like done like 6 to 8 hard eyes on 6 to 8 different stories, and I didn't even realize that I've been doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like random. So I'm like, yep, nope, I'm muting this person because like obviously like
because then I guess like that's like when it becomes like, okay, they're just Bennett. Like, I mean, I definitely have used people as like my nice little like social media ego boost. Like, sure, they could like slide in there, give me my things, and I'll be like, thanks, and then I'm not gonna say a damn thing else like besides that. But yeah, like if you're like in that position and you actually have like feelings, or you like actually want to like start a conversation, you see like that's what the trend is, like you're not gonna wanna, you're like, okay, well, mute, because I'm not gonna keep doing this.
I think it's different between like friends and like people that you might be shooting your shot at and stuff.
Like, for sure.
So it's like sometimes when I'm like might be shooting my shot at someone, that's like my ways of like kind of feeling it out, like to see if this person is interacting with me. Like, it happens a lot. Like, I'll do that and like the person does it back, and it becomes like this, like, you know what I'm saying, like a little flirty, like Instagram flirting, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, and if that doesn't happen, like I'll just dead it, because I'm not like,
you're not
I'm
gonna
not a cornball, like, you know what I'm
saying?
I'm not a cornball in that sense. Like, I'm cornball in other senses, but like when it comes to like game, like I'm not trying to like, I still have to like see these people out in the streets out here.
Out in the streets.
I don't want one day to somebody be like, I'm famous as shit, and it's like, you gotta see this screenshot of Sai so thirsty in my DMs. Like, it's I'm trying to avoid those shits. So,
I guess like this is all future planning for you. You got to be like, yo, how many screenshots can I avoid?
Right. So I mean, I don't know. So did you say that you have anyone muted?
Yeah, I said I only have like a I think it's mostly like friends. I don't really think I have like anybody, like any exes or anybody like that really muted. I think I only have a couple. And then, okay, so then it comes to a different thing. What about like hiding your stories from people?
Ooh, well, okay. So the only time I've ever really done that is when people care about what you post. If someone like starts something with me, like really it wasn't like, it was more like somebody at work like said something about like when we first started the podcast, like we've talked about it a lot. But it was more just like, all right, well, dude, like if you don't see this, you'll never like know that you can't say like that you're seeing it from me or whatever like that. So I might just block them to avoid. But no, I don't block anybody really. There's times where like, sometimes but then I really, really think about before I post something, like who I am as a person. Like, if someone wants to fire me for something that I did, like, it's like, this is me, and I'm going to be like unapologetically and authentic. And I'm just going to see where it gets me in life, because, and if it gets me like fired or on the streets, like I just have like confidence in myself that I'll be like, all right, so those are the type of things I think about. Like, I'm not sitting here just like saying anything I want to, but like,
of course not. Yeah.
Right. But another thing I wanted to add on to the conversation was, you can mute stories, but when you go to mute it, they give you the option to mute stories and posts. Have you ever muted someone's stories and posts?
I think I feel like there is somebody, but I don't really know who. And I feel like it was just, for a while, there was like this one girl who I knew through dance and stuff, who I muted her stories and posts just because they were just really annoying, and
Well, that was what I was reading about. Like, it's just
and they
like
just drove me crazy. And I wanted to like keep her as like a follower or like whatever. Like wanted to have that follow connection,
right?
Because like I knew I'd see her or whatever. And then I eventually just like kind of didn't care because I was like, she's not really somebody I really care to be friends with anyway.
If I unfollow your stories, that means you're like annoying. You know what I'm saying? If I unfollow your stories and posts, like, I just don't fuck with you. Like, I'm unfollowing
so,
you.
Yeah, so that's, like, my thing is, like, at that point, then I'm just gonna unfollow you.
Yeah.
and
so, but they're saying, like, you know, it's kind of crazy because with social media, it brings up a bigger conversation of, like, how people are they can be so much different in real life than they are online. And it's just, like, it's kind of crazy that, like, someone you could talk to all the time in real life and in person and be friends with and like do shit with and stuff like that, online they could be the most annoying person, and like you could just have them completely muted. And it's like the psychology behind that is like kind of crazy if you think about it. Like, it's like you can tolerate this person in real life, but like their online habits are just too much for you to take. Well, you know, maybe they're talking politics or religion or their opinions on a bunch of different shit, and you're just like, dude, when we're together, we don't talk about this stuff. But like when you're online, you're talking about all this crazy shit, and it almost is like that's where like the separation. It's like it's almost like I try to be the same online that I am in real life. I never want people to look at me like I'm two different people online than I am in real life. Mm-hmm. So,
I mean, same. I feel like I'm definitely like the same, and we both like have people from the company who follow us on different platforms, and so like I feel like I always
think the CEO of my company following me, and she like comments on all my stuff. So it's like that's like one thing that I have. Yeah, like that's one thing that I have to like keep in mind when I do all these things. It's like I know that the person that's like the top person in our company like is going to see it. So it's like with that like that bar set already, like, and she already knows who I am like as a person. So it's like so it's like I'm fine to be myself, and it's like I'm never gonna do anything too crazy. But
I feel like I've always had bosses follow me in some senses. Like when I was an RA, my hall coordinator, my RA boss of sorts, we were very close, and so like he followed me on different things, and so like that always like I think it always like it's always like keeps me in check to like, okay, what am I gonna post, and like is this worth, like is this who I am, or is this like am I just posting whatever, and is this gonna make me look bad kind of deal. Right. So I feel like that's always something I think about. But yeah, I feel like when it comes to like the whole muting, unfollowing, whatever, I feel like a lot of times I don't really care about the follow that much, like about following that much. If it gets to a point, like I'd rather just unfollow them because I'm like, okay, well, whatever. And now when you do that, it could say like, do you want to remove them as one of your followers? And like, I never say yes to that because like I'd rather keep
we're vain.
them.
We're vain humans. We're vain.
Yeah, we're vain. I'm like,
beings.
Why would I do that? I'd rather keep them in my follower account, and then if they want to unfollow me because they realize that I unfollow them, that's their business. But if they're duped into following me for
that is kind of cool though that they give you the option to let someone like to tell you can like make someone unfollow you. You know, so they'd be like, you don't follow me no more. Which
I think I actually had like I came to. I went to like look up somebody that I knew from college, and like I knew I had followed them, but then all of a sudden like it was said that I had unfollowed them and that their thing was private. I was like, yo, did they like unfollow me? And then whatever. And then like, so me being me, I like refollowed them, and then they immediately followed me back. And I was like, what did I do?
I saw a meme, like it was like, if I accept you and then you unfollow me and then you try to accept me again, there's going to be a $45 reconnection fee.
Just
be
send
like,
a
I saw you, and now like you get that first follow for free. But so yeah, no, well, cool.
That's the new OnlyFans, is just pimping out your follows.
Right. I definitely thought that was pretty interesting. If you guys have other reasons why you've muted people, I would love to hear it. So just like hit it in the comments when you post this. And then what was I gonna say? So Bachelor, listen to your heart.
I really want them. They better perform that song at some point because I love that song.
Oh, they will. But what'd you think of like now, like the American Idol part of the show starts, and it's kind of cool. Like personally for me, like I was still trying to understand how this was gonna work. It was really weird how it's all coming together now. Like it's like the first 3 weeks, they brought in like one round of like new people, and they're like, that's no more new people are coming in, so now you're gonna start performing. And they start putting these people
together. You gotta
together.
pick.
Yeah. So everyone's pretty talented, except for like, you know, that one couple that ended up almost going home. That's in that 3-way triangle with Julia.
Yeah.
So that was like the big drama of this episode. Is Julia is like insane. Well, I wouldn't say insane, but like he's definitely playing both those girls. But
Brandon is a total douche canoe. He's definitely playing both of them hard.
Yeah, hard. But like, how do you judge someone like Julia on her moves? Because obviously, judging by the scenes from next week, like he goes back and like messes with Julia, but it's only because Julia is like is still sticking around, and
she's keeping the door open for him too. Because okay, my thoughts. So Julia, I mean, she's just day by day she's breaking poor Sheridan's heart, and Sheridan doesn't deserve that. That's my first thing. And I honestly think that her and Sheridan are cute together, but you know, she like, you know, first of all, Brandon picked Savannah over her, and then after she had already like, you know, friend zoned Sheridan, she got lucky that Sheridan still loves her, even though she has not been very kind to him, and kept her on. And then Brandon was all like, we can figure this out now that you're staying on. I'm like, Brandon, you just like, you hit the jackpot because you got two of the girls that you like staying on, and so you could like think you can play the field. Though technically at the beginning of this episode, you know, Chris Harrison's like, you got to pick who you're serious about or else you're going home, because like this is your partner and your partner.
Yeah, he kind of screwed himself in that sense, but he talked his way out of it. I feel really bad for Sheridan because he just really just like honestly likes Julia a lot, and like, you know, I mean, he's playing the game as best as he can, like for the situation. You're not going to go home just because this girl is, you know, you're going to try to get you as much screen time and out there, like, you know, as you can. That's the opportunity. She just like, you know, honestly is just making herself look bad. She's kind of like, her name from that last show that we were watching, where everybody, where the older woman and the younger guy, like that.
Oh, Love Is Blind, Jessica, yeah.
Like, I feel like she's gonna get a lot of backlash like that.
Yeah, actually, I saw a meme that showed them like as being like the two, like, you know, the Spider-Mans pointing at each other. It showed them being all like, who's gonna like?
She's
who's
the worst, dude. She's the absolute worst, because like I don't even feel bad for her. She's like, when they had that conversation with those two girls, like she was like, really was like not minding her own business, and she's just like looking like a crazy person talking about this conversation with this girl, and being like, you know. It just like you turned, and she just kept using the phrase like one,
and
like
being candid,
turning up to 100 like real quick, like, you know, with the PDA and all that, and it's just like, who cares, dude? Like, it has nothing to do with you at this point.
Yeah,
like,
and then she kept being like that she had, you know, that she's like, I'm not even saying this because like I still have feelings for him. I'm just saying blah blah blah. I'm like, she's like trying to spin it up being like on like only Brandon, like, which Brandon obviously plays a big role in this. Like he definitely is leading them both on. Right. But then she's trying to be like, I have no feelings.
That's the annoying part about it. It's like, and you know, I know like these shows pin like, you know, people against each other and stuff like that, but it's just really sad to see like two women fighting over. And like a
really
woman,
mediocre dude.
Well, yeah, and also like Julia like making up things in her head about this woman just because she's insecure, and she's like I don't even really I don't like the guy still. Like, it's like, dude, you definitely like the guy. That was this morning. Like, you know.
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
Literally,
like,
you were just crying about it.
So yeah, don't like. It's just sad to see. So she's like pathetic in my book, but you know, they got lucky. They had that Backstreet Boys song, and the other ones had that whack ass song that they had to sing. Oh my god, I just like was so,
it was cringy.
First of all, I hate that
their
song.
Performance was not good. Yeah,
I hate that song. But yeah, everyone did really good. What's her name? Like, you know, got in her head and was like freaking out.
Her age definitely showed this episode because she was just like really nervous, and she's like, oh, we're being judged on stage. I'm like, girl, what did you think the show was gonna be? Like,
it's really hard because like not only is it like you're competing against people, it's a very interesting dynamic, but like you have to like perform with someone else, and
you have to show chemistry, you have to like show all that.
Yeah, and it's just like that shit could come off real bad. But yeah, so I mean, everyone did pretty good. I mean, obviously the black dude and that girl like killed it. They're gonna go all the way. They're the ones that are going on tour. Probably.
Yeah, Chris and Brie are gonna. I mean, they're my faves. Natasha showed us her real. Natasha blew her, Shawn Mendes lookalike boyfriend out of the water. Like even the judges this week were Jason Mraz, Kesha, and then JoJo and Jordan. And all the judges were like, hey, like, Ryan, you held it down, man. But Natasha just like took you for a ride. Like, she's the star.
Even Chris Lane called him Shawn Mendes.
Yeah, I loved that. I loved that.
It's like, oh shit, I thought Shawn Mendes was standing down here. He probably gets. He loves that, dude. That's the thing too. If like you're an artist and you like build your whole thing up, to being like looking like John Mayer or Shawn Mendes, like a blend of them and stuff like that. Like there's this like really, really talented guitarist that I follow on Instagram, and he's so good. But like he like stands for John Mayer so hard, like he looks like him and all this different stuff, and it's just like, dude, like just do something different. Like everyone knows what you're trying to do. Anyways, so yeah, like I think it was definitely like a lot of like cringy parts about this week, but I like it. I like seeing like I like seeing the pressure of them having to sing and show chemistry, and then like actual judges being like, what's up.
Yeah. Well, and the judges pick who gets to stay and who gets to go home, which I would love to know like how much like producer influence is in on that as well.
Do they switch the judges up, or those are the judges the whole time?
I think the judges switch up just based on the previews. I think they kind of like throw in a different Bachelor Nation couple or different Bachelor Nation couple, I think, because they really want them to see like
Love.
what the chemistry is and like how they could be successful. Then I think they throw in a couple of different music related folks each week. So I think Rachel Lindsay and her husband Brian, like how much I care about him.
Are they
They're
married?
like going to be on the next episode as the judges, along with I literally don't know who.
They got married.
Yeah, they got married. I think like last year.
Okay. Well, yeah. So yeah. Well, I don't know how many more episodes of this we're gonna get, but what was it, like 6 or 8?
I'm guessing like 6 or 8. I think 6. Maybe. So we're halfway through if it's 6, or we're nearly halfway through. I think it's funny, that it took us till week 3 to actually figure out the premise of the show. Like, oh, we're in it to win, like, a record deal / tour. Like, I was like, oh, we get it now.
Right. And it's just like funny too to see like some of the couples. You're like, you guys are not going to be them. Like, I don't care how good you sing, you guys are not in love. And so.
If you went on the show though, Sai, like, would you, like, how do you feel about the fact that like you're going to be like kind of doing this like collab tour and like whatever, like what, like, I feel like that's like such a like huge step, like especially like for a lot of these artists, like this is their big break and then it's like with somebody else. Like, what are your thoughts?
That's a great question, actually, V. I think because of the premise of the show, and if I like were to like make it on there and vibe with a girl and shit, I know, I really think if I like was vibing with a girl and I matched up with someone, like I think because of my personality and who I'd vibe with, I'd hope that person was like a great artist, like they sang. Yeah. And I could pretty much I can make anything sound good. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if they're already like a good singer, like we're going to make some like, and I have some cool ideas.
Going to make some beautiful music, baby.
Like, what they're doing is like, all of them are kind of like stiff. Like, that's what I've noticed. Like, no one has like, and besides like that black dude, he has like some soul, and them together are like good.
Chris is the bomb.
But besides that, like no one really has like cut through personality, like, you know what I'm saying?
No,
so
they're
like,
all so bland. They're so boring.
None of the performances like really stood out to me. Like, no one like was like, let's like do a little crazy, like different, like, no one was like that. They were like, let's just sing the lyrics and go like that.
They're like, this is our cover, we got it.
Right.
Like,
so already, like, I feel like every week I would come out there and just like the show would just be like, they'd be like, God damn, Psy just killed it again. Like, no one else is going to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got Kanye West coming out here, the brown Kanye West, So.
The brown Kanye West, you know what they call him, the brown Kanye West. Well, yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see you on this show just because everyone on this fucking show is pulling out their acoustic guitar and just like plucking along. And I think it'd be really interesting to see, like, maybe we'll see more of it as we go on. I really doubt it. Like, I doubt we would see anybody. Everyone seems like pretty like run of the mill, like country-ish, pop-ish on this show. Like maybe like, and as you said, like Chris sounds like he has like a little bit more soul, but I feel like it'd be interesting to see like somebody with like more of like your elements of like, you know, how you do your looping or how like you mix stuff or things like that. I think that would actually be interesting. Like if you like, you know, vibed with a girl with like just like really incredible vocals and then you like did a lot more of like the other stuff, I think that would be actually like super cool, because then that's like a way that you guys would make really beautiful music together.
Yeah, and I say that all from this vantage point, but like when you get down to the cut and you have like barely any time to prepare and stuff, like maybe all you have to do is like remember the lyrics, and that's the hardest part. So like, you know, some of these people might just be keeping it simple for the fact of like,
well, yeah, it looks like they only have like hours to prep, and then it's like, all right, you're on stage.
Right. So, yeah, it's interesting. I'm excited to see how it all plays out. So,
I still wish these episodes were not 2 hours. I really don't think they need the full 2 hours, but that is still my opinion.
I feel you. Well, let's get into our slapper of the week. This song is actually, I've been listening to this group called Jungle a lot. Like, we've been just listening to their songs over and over, and they're so good. This week it's not Jungle, but because we were listening, like we've been watching, Paul has like a projector in his living room.
I love it. Yeah, it's so cool.
We just watch music videos like sometimes when we have people over, and just like this one song came up at like in random from after we're watching Jungle videos, and
Jungle videos.
Yeah, the group is called Half Alive, and the song is called Still Feel. They're very popular, and like the video is what really makes this whole thing, but the song is amazing too. So I've been listening to it, and I think it's a bop. So it's this week's slapper of the week. So without further ado, let's just get into our slapper. It's Still Feel by Half Alive. Let's go.
Slapper of the week. This song slaps.
Slapper. Yeah, that's our slapper of the week. Still Alive by Half Alive, or Still Feel Half Alive. Well, I mean, like, how you gonna put your name in this name of this song? So that's confusing. It's Still Feel by Half Alive. Slapper of the week.
Yeah, wow.
Little tongue twister, especially when you've been dancing a lot to that song. So, would you like it? You like it, right?
Yeah, no, I'm like really trying to remember what the chorus sounds like. It sounds like a chorus from a different song, and I can't put my, like, I can hear it because like we've just been listening to this song. I can't like exactly place it because like I keep hearing this song. So
I feel like it's like I'm hearing it now too.
Yeah, do you hear it too?
Yeah, I do hear it.
It's gonna drive me crazy.
Well, we'll figure it out. If you guys know, just let us know.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some people that like screaming at their iPhone or at their whatever their speaker that they're listening to this through, and they're all like, "You idiots! It's this song."
Yeah. Yo. So, do you have any shout outs, V, this week?
I wanted to shout out my friends Abby and Sierra for our little Jonas Brothers party that we had, our little connect that we had, even though the Jonas Brothers didn't pop in. And then I wanted to shout out my friend Holly for checking in on me. I want to shout out like a lot of people who have been reaching out to me and my family. My uncle passed away this past weekend from complications with the coronavirus. And so it's been kind of like a crazy past week for me and my family, and me being so far away from them during all of this. But it's amazing to know like how loved I am and how big of a community I have from all over the place that cares about me and reaches out. So shout out to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, rest in peace to your uncle. I'm very sorry to hear about that. I know how that goes. I lost one of my favorite uncles this last year too. So, you know, people like, you know, it's crazy out here, man. There's a lot going on, and it sucks too because like these things happen, and you know, it's like you can't really travel right now. You can't like be around family and stuff. Like this past week, actually, a really nice coworker from WSB passed away, Robbie Pope, And you know, he was such a nice guy. He was only 59 years old and stuff, and he was probably the nicest guy in the building, you know, arguably besides Fred, you know, but yeah, so it's just, it sucks, you know. We all want to kind of gather and do something for him and all that stuff, and we all have to like kind of sit back right now and stuff. So yeah, my heart goes out to you and your family, and I feel you. I love you. So my shout outs, I have quickly, I wanted to shout out, I've been obviously quarantining with Paul. I'm here right now. And last night, you know, I've been talking about my neighbors. We're all friends and stuff. And last night we actually got to meet some of Paul's neighbors, who are awesome people. And they're really cool. So I wanted to shout out Rin, who's a neighbor of his. And then also Bilal, who's also another one of his neighbors and stuff. So shout out to you guys. I gave them stickers and stuff, so hopefully they'll listen. You know how it goes. And then last but not least, this is actually my homie from back when I was growing up in middle school, high school. My friend Christina. She is one of my homies, and she lives here in Atlanta, but she's, you know, from upstate New York like I am. And she just started like a little side hustle called Magnetic Lashes, and she's, you know, doing lashes, you know, selling them to people that want them. Are they
those ones that like you use the like magnetic eyeliner and then you put them on and they stick?
That sounds like it. Just due to the name, but yeah, she's doing that. She is a very beautiful girl, and she knows fashion and stuff. So, you know, so I'm wishing her luck, and definitely want to send anybody that is interested in lashes. If you're getting into the game, she'll hook it up. She's the homie and stuff. So just come my way. Shout out to Christina. Find her on Instagram. That's xtina.warden. Then xtina.warden.
Might have to hit her up. All of us with our busted lashes, you know, like people get like lash extensions and stuff, and all of those are falling out and they can't replace them. And, you know, some of us want to look beautiful in this quarantine.
I feel you. So I had to let them know. So yeah, shout out to you guys. So yeah, V, how's your hair situation been going? Have you, like, you know,
it is just, I just push it back.
It looks good still.
Well, that's, yeah, because I've just gotten really good. If I let it actually fall normal, I look very much so. Our shout out to MC Strollo from like weeks ago when it was already kind of overgrown, but I look like a weird overgrown like Karen situation. So I really just kind of, last night I was messing around with it, and like if I part it in the middle, I look kind of like either like a young Leonardo DiCaprio or like a Nick Carter from Backstreet Boys, because I get like that very like, which that style is like coming back in with the boys these days. Like all these young teen guys on like TikTok are doing kind of like that same
I noticed that too.
Style. So I'm like, maybe I'll be like a cool TikTok teen if I do my hair this way. It all comes back
around. Like it literally is like clothes are baggy, clothes are tight, clothes are baggy, clothes are tight. Like it just keeps going back and forth. So, well, I don't really have anything planned for the next week.
Yeah, like I think I feel like, so like I took a couple days off last week for when I was supposed to be in Disney, and like people are like, oh, what are you gonna do? Like, and I was like, I watched the Jonas Brothers thing. I went on a bike ride, like.
Yeah. Actually, you know, that's what I'm gonna do in the next week. Me and PG are gonna go buy bikes from the bike barn. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
The bike barn, like right by me.
Yeah. So we'll be riding around on bikes here soon. I'm pretty stoked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
well, let me know, because I actually ride past your place all the time.
Cool. We'll have to cruise. Anyways, guys.
Gang. We should make a little Future Bachelor leather jackets.
Yeah, that's going in the merch store that we're creating soon.
That would be so funny.
Yeah, it would be. So, guys, that's been our episode 110 of Future Bachelor. Catch us next week with 111.
111.
111.
Triple one.
Yeah, guys, we're doing it. We're still keeping it going. Make sure to check us out on YouTube. Follow us. Tell a friend. And keep going
tag
with
a
us.
bitch.
Yeah, dude. Like right now, I know everyone's kind of like in their own world and stuff. It's kind of hard to catch up with us, but Shout out to you guys that are listening.
Let us be your buddy. Let us be your buddy when you're just, sometimes like I feel like I listen to podcasts because like I want to hear another voice or something, or if I just want to feel like I'm with people.
Right.
Let us be your buddy.
Also, if you're listening right now, we are doing Skype guests. So if you're interested in being a guest on Future Bachelor, you've always wanted to be on the show, right now would be the time to be like, reach us at the Future Bachelor on Instagram and just let us know you want to be on the show. And as long as you got Skype, we can make it happen. So just reach out. So yeah, that's been our show, guys. Catch us next week, and stay safe out there. And we love you. All right. It's been Future Bachelor. My name is Cy.
I'm Veronica.
And next time, we'll see ya.
That's how numbers work or whatever.
Whatever. Deuces.
Bye.
Future Bachelor Podcast.